CIL 650, in association with Tom Lucas Productions, presents Radio Real Estate.
Our house in the middle of our street.
And now, here are your hosts, Bill Macklem, Fern Northcutt, and Tom Lucas.
Good morning. Welcome to the On-Air Open House. William, good morning.
Good morning.
Fern,
Another
good morning.
gorgeous day.
Isn't it lovely? Hello there, Fern.
Good morning, Tom. How are you?
You're looking good this morning. You all set for Valentine's Day?
Hey, it's tomorrow, isn't it?
It is tomorrow. Now, for people like Bill Macklem, who's, by the way, are you alone again this Valentine's Day?
No.
No, you're not. You're with the ones you love or just with people?
I'm with the one I love.
Is that why you asked me out to dinner tonight?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you see where this is going, eh, Fern?
Yeah. I don't think I want to know.
Well, for those of you, because Bill, last week you bought your wife your Valentine's Day present. It was the Canucks jersey, one of the new black ones, the old new black ones.
Old new black ones. She just loves it.
Oh, for God's sake! I thought what we could do is maybe give you the gift of music this year, and this is for people like Bill Macklem that does buy their wives things like hockey jerseys. Try something like this for.
Feels so good. You're lying here next to me. Stop that baby.
Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Oh well.
Yeah, that was
you're
good.
opening up a can of worms there.
Yeah, well, we try, Fern.
Also very white.
You knew all that. Hey, listen, it's been a very busy week in the world of real estate locally. We'll be talking about some of that. Bill Macklem, who you heard is, well, you're doing something for Valentine's Day.
I am.
I know you are. You're the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. You're the resident mortgage guy on the show. You have the mortgage rate update coming up in a few minutes.
Absolutely.
People are asking the question, are they going to go down?
They're going to go down.
Are they? Really?
Yes, they
All
are.
right, that's good news.
Yeah. Bill also answers your mortgage question of the week in a few minutes.
Later in the show, I'm going to talk about the dilemma of purchasing a home in this crazy market we're in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting because we got a lot of good topics today. Our radio real estate home handyman, Finn Jensen, is here this morning, and he's going to chat about old Vancouver homes. Do we have any left?
Old Vancouver homes? Don't we call those the Vancouver specials?
Yeah, they're called the bulldozer special, and then a new house goes up.
I see.
Or two.
Or two, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Or the Pink
Perhaps
Palace.
more heritage.
Monica Dita Briga, president of Mummy Maze, will be here with her tip of the week. This morning, she chats about cleaning leather furniture, which is really hard to do.
You have some of that stuff at your
I
place.
do, I do.
Pay close attention. Also, we're going to talk about real estate in the Mexican market with our Mexican Los Cabos agent, Nick Fong.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be interesting, too. Lots of stuff going on in Mexico. Bill's mortgage question of the week is coming up, and if you have a question for Bill, leave it on our website, radiorealestateshow.ca, radiorealestateshow.ca, and Bill will answer it on next weekend's show.
Andrea Jock of Keller Williams Elite Realty will join us in a few minutes to bring us up to date on the challenges in the real estate market in the Tri-Cities area this Valentine's weekend.
Andy Mathieu of Remax Crest Westside is with us this morning, and we'll take a look at Greater Vancouver real estate market. And it is 9:03, and you're listening to Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
You might want to adjust your clocks. It's 10:03 here on the west coast of Canada. It's the Radio Real Estate Show, and time now to look at those mortgage rates. Bill thinks you're going to go down. How are they looking right now, Billy?
They're slipping downwards.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of pressure to maintain the rates the way they are right now. Big banks are keeping theirs up high, so they're between a 289 and 299. The virtual lenders, who this is really crazy, actually get the money from the big banks and then sell it through brokers and online buyers for their mortgages, are dropping their rates. And of course, and then we always have the one-off people. And the one-off people, so these would be the same people that had a car for sale and said, oh, well, yeah, but you can buy it for this price, but did you want tires on it? So it's the same mentality with the interest rates. So people see these interest rates at 2.2 for a variable or 2.54 on a 5-year fixed. Got to be careful. Just because it's a lower rate doesn't mean it's the best rate.
So what are the best rates for today then?
Like 2.54 would be a good 5-year rate, but I would think you're probably looking more like a 2.59 to 2.65.
If we could, should we hang on a little bit longer in case you go down a bit more? What do you think?
Well, I would probably suggest going into a variable rate mortgage at this particular point in time.
Good idea.
That way there you have the opportunity of locking it any time you want. I believe the rates are going to go down. My crystal ball is probably as cloudy as anybody else's. but it's just a gut feeling.
You gave me an idea for a line there, but I'll let it go. In the next segment of the program, Bill will answer the mortgage question of the week. And later in the program, we'll be chatting about real estate in Mexico. Fern knows a lot about this. And, of course, there's a big, how do they say, controversy out here in the West Coast about real estate this past week. We'll be talking about that. Monica Dina Abriga, the president of Mummy Maids, will be here on the show. She's going to talk about cleaning this week. She's going to be talking about something close to Bill's heart, and the seat of his pants is leather furniture.
You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house radio real estate on CL 650.
Hi, this is Monica from Mummy Maids. We're here to help you with all your cleaning needs, including move-in, move-outs, packing and unpacking, organizing, laundry and windows, walls, basic cleaning, and custom cleaning. We do it all. You deserve a break, and Mummy Maids can help. Let us clean your castle with no hassle. Call 604-533-4959. That's 604-533-4959. Or visit us at mummymaids.com.
Tom Lucas on the Radio Real Estate Show. Good morning to Mike Farkas, the service manager at North Vancouver Nissan. Mike, good morning. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good, too, and I feel even better now because I hear that Nissan has a very special event coming up.
The Nissan Car Care event, they're offering a free 21-point inspection there, which will check the car from bumper to bumper. They're also offering weekly prizes of $50 gas cards and servicing packages. It's just great.
I can make my appointment, as usual, online, northvancouvernissan.com.
Hi, it's Bill Macklem from Dominion Macklem Mortgages. As your mortgage broker, I am your home loan consultant, helping you finance the largest debt of your life. All of us want to make the right financing decision when we're making this choice. Even after you sign for your mortgage, we are still there for you. Call us. Dominion Macklem Mortgages, 604-684-4663, 604-684-HOME.
CL 650. Letters. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
Yeah, people love those oldies, don't they? Like, you're smiling, you hear that. Our producer in there is smiling away. I know Fern's smiling. I can tell, little devil.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a happy little song, isn't it?
Well, I do my best. It's called Insanity.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Well, Bill's all dressed up in his sweater, as you know, and for today, Fern, you started this brilliant red sweater for Valentine's Day. Nice touch, Bill.
It's got a heart.
Well, you know what? We're all in good company with one another. It's either the Three Stooges or we're all insane.
Just let her go. What's the question of the week, Fern?
This week's question is from Katrina Holloway. Katrina would like to know, how does the person's credit score is determined?
Thanks, Fern. That's a great question from Katrina. It's a little bit complicated, but not really. So credit scores range from 300 to 900. So that'd be your credit score. So if you had a 750, you'd be very good. You'd be in the top 48% of people that have a credit score. What they do is they look at three things. They look at the ratio of satisfactory use of credit that you're using versus the total available credit that you might have that you haven't used over the last 24 months. They look at the number of personal finance trades which would have a high utilization. So that would mean that you'd be above the 80% of allowable credit for the last 3 months. And they're looking at the worst rating for installment trades in the last 12 months. So let's go over that again. You're looking at payment history, you're looking at use of available credit, you're looking at length of credit history, you're looking at number of inquiries, and you're looking at the types of credit. We're going to talk more about this next week. We're going to talk about the tips to improve your credit score, and then we'll talk about that as part of our feature for next Saturday.
Awesome. Improving your credit score is always a good idea. It certainly helps you buy a house. So for expert mortgage information, visit online, billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, mac.com. Or call Bill at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
It's 9 minutes after 10:09. Something very exciting is coming to CL 650 on Monday morning. The morning show, number one, I invite you to join me starting at 7 o'clock. Then in the 9 o'clock hour, guess what we're going to be doing? We have an exclusive. We're going to be giving away tickets to go and see James Taylor.
No.
Oh.
Yes, we are. James Taylor tickets. You can get them on this radio station. All you have to do is tell us if it's Taylor or Taylor. Now you're looking a little confused. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little a guitar vignette from one of the songs, a little guitar solo. You have to tell me if it's James Taylor or if it's from a Taylor Swift song.
Oh.
Got it?
Tricky.
If you have the right answer, you win tickets to go and see James Taylor, who's coming to town in the summer. Yeah.
He'd be great.
When's he coming?
In the summer.
Well, I know, but what date? I got to put it in my calendar.
Well, just look it up. Go to our website, cl650.com. All the information is there for you.
Did he work with Denver?
What?
Did he work with John Denver?
Coming up in the next segment of the program, no. Monday morning, tune in.
Monday morning,
I'm
here.
There.
I'm here.
Hey, it's time now to hear what's going on out in the Tri-Cities area. Our resident Tri-Cities expert, Andrea Jock, is standing by. She's on the line. Let's say good morning to Andrea.
Good morning, Tom. Hi, everyone.
Hey, good morning, and I guess tomorrow is the big day for all you lovers out there, huh?
Can you believe it, Tom? I'm actually not single this Valentine's Day.
I have to ask you this question. Are you in love again?
Oh, no. The L word.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. We're in strong like right now. It is Valentine's Day. Doing something special tomorrow, are you? Or can I just...
I think I have, I have a dinner date.
Okay.
It'd be nice.
It's a surprise.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
right.
think it is.
No surprise. There's a lack of inventory all over the Lower Mainland, especially out in the Tri-Cities where you are.
Definitely. We are absolutely in need of more listings. January was a busy month. We had over 110 detached sales, with most of the homes selling for full price and over asking after the open house on the weekend. Port Moody had 18 sales, and Port Coquitlam had 25. Listings are extremely low, especially for townhomes under 500 and detached homes in Coquitlam. If you're thinking about selling, now is a great time. And if you're buying in this market and find a home you like, it's best to act on it quickly, as most homes are selling in multiple offers, and there are many multiple offer strategies out there. So if you have any questions about multiple offers, feel free to give me a call. This is Andrea Jock for Radio Real Estate.
And multiple offers, really, there is a strategy, and hopefully most realtors will know how to market that kind of thing. In the Tri-Cities, call Andrea Jock at 604-783-3124, 604-783-3124, or visit Pinnacle Group, REM.com. That's Pinnacle Group, REM.com.
It's 12 minutes after 10 o'clock, and coming up, we'll be looking at some real estate opportunities in Mexico with our Los Cabos agent, Nick Fong. And we'll also discuss the big Vancouver real estate debacle. And boy, it's been interesting around here for the past week, right, Fern?
Shadow flipping is the word. That's the buzzword this week. This is Fern Northcott of Remax Performance Realty with mortgage expert Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgage, producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate, Vancouver's original on-air open house on CL 650.
Hi, this is Fern Northcott of Remax Performance. Your real estate dreams begin with you. You deserve the facts of a professional home evaluation based on the statistics of the MLS. To find out what your house is really worth, call or text me. Fern Northcott, 604-790-9066, 604-790-9066, or visit fnorthcott.com.
Tom Lucas on the Radio Real Estate Show. Good morning to Mike Farkas, the service manager at North Vancouver Nissan. Mike, good morning. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good, too, and I feel even better now because I hear that Nissan has a very special event coming up.
The Nissan Car Care event, they're offering a free 21-point inspection there, which will check the car from bumper to bumper. They're also offering weekly prices of $50 gas cards and servicing packages. It's just great.
I can make my appointment as usual online, northvancouvernissan.com.
Hi, it's Bill Macklem from Dominion Macklem Mortgages. In these busy times, it is not always possible to get to a bank for appointments. With young families and busy agendas, we have found that our personal, professional, and our at-home service is very much appreciated. Call 604-684-4663, 604-684-HOME, or online at billymac.com. That's BILLI, not a Y, MAC.com.
Vancouver weather.
This will wake you up. The clouds will disappear. Maybe some clearness over the skies for the rest of the... What do you think?
Well, I'm looking at the chart, and I'm not seeing anything that looks like
Really?
sun.
No, gee whiz. What about for tomorrow, no?
Now it looks like it's going to be, cloudy, rain beginning early in the morning. It's going to be about 20 millimeters. And then on Monday, we're going to have, myriad, more rain.
That sounds good. Right now it is 8 degrees in the Radio Real Estate Show.
CL 650.
I'm thinking of you, me, down in Mexico. Fern gets down in Mexico quite a lot. You're kind of one of the lucky ones of the show here. You get to do some traveling. You love Mexico, don't you?
I do. I've got a passion for Mexico.
All right. I'm just wondering if you know Nick Fong. You don't have to say whether you do or not. It's not one of those, 50 questions programs. But we're going to find out how real estate is looking in Mexico right now. Nick Fong is standing by. Nick, what's going on?
there were 582 sold units per our MLS, and that is a 2% reduction from 2014. 2015 finished very strong, but at the beginning, after Hurricane Odile, it definitely had affected our real estate sales. 2016 is really shaping up to be a great year, a lot of activity, some good sales already after only a month in 2016.
I'm thinking what we should do is maybe head off and see Bill Macklem, get a few bucks in the pocket, a few pesos, go down to Mexico. Fern can take us down there. We can go looking for some places, right, Fern?
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know what it is, though. Sometimes financing is a little more difficult to get in Mexico, and that's where, if sometimes, as I advertise to my clients, just kind of take some equity out of your home, put a mortgage on your home, and just go have fun with it. With the prices in Mexico and the lifestyle, I mean, you can take money out of your home and go down and buy something clear title and live there 6 months out of the year, or whatever your lifestyle suits you financially.
And if you're looking for an investment, you might want to be taking close attention to what Nick has to say here.
Casa Playa is located in Playa del Rey. Playa del Rey is located in the Cabo Bayo community, which is gated and just 5 minutes from downtown Cabo San Lucas. This second row beachfront home has amazing ocean views that can never be blocked by the row of homes in front. This is 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, and sold fully furnished. Hope to see you here at one of the open houses. Have a great rest of your week.
Do you know that area down where he was talking about?
Me?
No, Bill.
Is it... Oh, true. I know that Bill flits all over too. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yes, I do. My first couple of years that I would come down to Mexico for a couple of weeks at a time, I would stay in Los Cabos. And a friend of mine quit real estate in Langley about 20 years ago, and she and her husband are selling real estate down in Los Cabos. So last year I drove the Baja. And so when I stopped in Los Cabos, I got caught up on the real estate market, which is what I like to do everywhere I go. So, yeah, it's good to hear from Nick, and I'll be in touch with Nick.
Fantastic. Now, something has been happening locally, right, Bill?
Yes, the province of BC has committed $355 million to affordable housing.
So now what does this mean? According to NDP's housing critic David Eby, he says it could mean a lot potentially to people who buy in the Lower Mainland.
This first $50 million, which the government is committed to, is a good start. It's important to recognize the significance of the reversal here. The government spends now almost $120 million a year in rent supplements. This was the idea was that the government was no longer going to be involved in the business of building new affordable rental housing, and instead they were going to give supplements to private landlords to help people who couldn't afford the rent otherwise pay the rent. Fine idea, except for the reality of most of the province where vacancy rates are now less than 1%. So very difficult for people to find housing, and the cost of the program continually escalating. So now the government is reversing course and saying, well, the rent supplements didn't work. We're going to get back into the business of building rental housing. We're going to get back into renovating some of these units we've neglected and are on the verge or are actually closed to rental, which is a very good step. I think finally they've seen the light that they've been headed the wrong direction. Problem is, in the meantime, we've got 10 cities in Victoria, Maple Ridge, Abbotsford, Vancouver. This is a serious problem that took a long time to build. It's going to take a long time to undo. There's no question that the government has neglected the housing file dramatically at all levels, everything from deep core need for people who are living out in the street with mental health and addiction issues, to students trying to find rental housing for universities, to people who are trying to find rental housing where they work, to families trying to find a place to buy. They have neglected this at every level. So absolutely, this is a good first step, but it's important to recognize the context of the housing crisis that's been building up over the past 5-10 years in the Lower Mainland and in British Columbia. It's going to take the government a little bit more attention to the file, but I'm certainly encouraged that they're at least headed the right direction now. The first thing I do is look at the fact that we spent $500 million over the last 5 years on these rent supplements, so we have literally nothing to show for it. The government needs to reevaluate this program on a very serious basis. About $70 million a year that they're proposing to put into new units could be significantly increased to reduce our reliance on rent supplements. But also, we got to close those loopholes and the shadow flipping that's going on in the property transfer tax and use some of that revenue from these speculators who are driving up housing prices for everybody in the province, use some of that to build affordable housing for families who want to live and work in the Lower Mainland, who want to live and work in the communities where they grew up. This is a very serious issue, and the government's been asleep at the switch. I hope they do close those loopholes and use some of that revenue to build and offer incentives and the ability for people to get into the housing market. This is a very modest program. It's less than the existing rent supplement program program. It doesn't address the affordability crisis that families are facing across the Lower Mainland. It doesn't address the shadow flipping that's going on and the evasion of the property transfer tax. It doesn't address the issue of international investment in our housing market, driving up prices. So I sure hope to see more from the government. The government's got to build more rental housing, and this is good for that. But it's really modest. And for the Premier to say that this is historic, like, give me a break. Hopefully, they're going to be building on this program and heading us in the right direction, because this is starting to have a major drag on the economy that people can't afford to live where they work in the Lower Mainland, and the province has to address that. We've been doing a lot of pushing, and we'll continue to push on these issues. It's hard for me to think of an issue that's more important for families in the Lower Mainland and in many parts of the province than housing. The fact that prices are so high or they can't find rental housing. For my own family, we're searching around for an apartment that has 2 or 3 bedrooms. The vacancy rate less than 1% in the Lower Mainland. There are a lot of people out there who earn a lot less money than our family does, and they are really, really struggling. And so I really hope that the government takes that into account, listens to people like the CEO of Hootsuite that says we're risking becoming a ghost town if we don't address this, and starts to fix this problem of the housing crisis that we're facing.
So that's the NDP housing critic, David Eby, and he says it's a good start. We'd like to see some more. You don't agree?
I'd like to see results.
Would you really?
Well, you know what? We see starts, and then when they say, throw their hands in the air and say, oh, well, that didn't work, let's blame somebody.
No,
Let's see results for a change. What a concept.
The other thing, too, is we were told this past week, we don't need to fear the shadows. What does that mean, firm? We don't need to fear the shadows.
Well, who's saying we don't need to fear the shadows? You know, let's just get everything out on the table, and then people can take a look at it realistically. You know, all this shadow thing that I've been reading and listening to the last week, that everybody's real quick to blame, and then who are we going to have to investigate, and let's get a retired judge to do it. Well, let's just talk about what shadow flipping is, and let's get on with life. I mean, it's been going on for years and years and years. It's nothing new. Maybe it's just finally being exposed.
Well, what is it?
What is shadow flipping?
Yeah.
Shadow flipping is where a seller sells to a buyer he thinks is going to be buying his home, and then that buyer sells the property to another person on paper only, and then sells it to another person on paper only, and then the third person, if it's sold to somebody else, they're the ones that show up in the lawyer's office to sign the documents. So the seller is signing away to a third or fourth party, not knowing that this is happening. And my question is, what is the final sales price that the seller gets? He's not getting this profit through shadow flipping.
Then how's he getting it?
He's just getting, well, let's say he sold it for $500,000 and he's getting his $500,000. So Mr. Buyer bought it for $500,000 and he sells it on paper for $500,100. And then he sells it for $500,200. Again, all on paper, and that's avoiding property transfer tax as well as capital gains. And then Mr. Buyer or Mr. Seller goes in, signs all the documents, and he gets his $500,000. He doesn't know how much his property really sold for. Not that I know of.
Well, I think what has to happen is that there has to be a little bit more control over the fact of the shadow buyers and the shadow selling. I mean, you have to look at the fact that, I mean, this happened when people were buying condos downtown, and those condo builders were the ones that were suffering at the end. So they actually changed that fact that you cannot assign your sale of your property to somebody else before it completes. So whether it completes in 6 months or 6 years, you cannot reassign that sale contract. And so possibly do the same. Pardon?
I'm sorry. They were doing that on a couple of complexes that I was personally involved in Langley. And of course, the developer does not want assignments because then he's in competition with quote, quote, resales. And if the market goes up in price, which it has done in the last couple of years, that he's trying to sell at the higher price, and the assignees are trying to sell their properties, and they can go in competition with the developers that sell for lower because they paid lower because they bought at last year's prices.
Yeah, there's a real disconnect there, and we have to make sure that yes, this assignment of sale contracts is probably important. If you have one of the parties that is married is out of town, out of country, and can't be on title when they make the offer, but at the time of closing, you can probably bring them on title or on the offer. So that makes one sense. But when you're doing these shadow flippings, there's got to be a stop to it somehow, because the province is losing money. And we as taxpayers are losing money as well.
Interesting. If anybody listening to the show this morning has any questions about real estate, about mortgages, whatever, give us a call, 604-280-0650, 604-280-0650. Also, I ask you to keep that number handy for Monday morning because we're giving away some James Taylor tickets on the show.
Absolutely.
About 9:20-ish.
Yeah.
All you got to do is 9:20. Okay, all right. For once at a 9:20.
9:25, but anyway, who cares?
We'll do it at 9:20.
In our next segment, we'll be joined by Monica Dinabriga, president of Mommy Maids, who is going to chat about cleaning our leather furniture. Listen up, Bill.
And before I talk about real estate information, which is coming up right away, I think that we wanted to make sure we knew the dates of the James Taylor concert.
Thank you for asking. June the 11th, which is a Saturday.
And it starts at 8 p.m.
Doing anything?
No.
Like to go?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope you win some tickets.
I'm calling
Please
it.
You guys, I'm getting a little tired of your dates.
Really, are you? Sorry.
Yeah.
So's Bill's wife.
I mean, let somebody else in, huh?
No kidding.
Yeah, we got a whole lot more coming up on the Radio Real Estate Show. Good morning. It's Tom Lucas with our co-host Fern Northcott of Remax Performance Realty. Bill Macklem is the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Our producer is Dwayne Bishop, and you are listening to Radio Real Estate on CIL 650.
Hi, this is Fern Northcott of Remax Performance. Your real estate dreams begin with you. Baby boomers move for various reasons. Perhaps your home is just too big, or you want to buy that toy you always wanted. Together, we will make that happen. Call or text me, Fern Northcott, 604-790-9066, 604-790-9066, or visit fnorthcott.com.
Your life's too busy to be doing the things that you don't want to do. Hi, it's Monica at Mommy Maids. We'll free up your time by taking care of all your cleaning needs. We have weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or one-time special occasion plans available, including move-in and move-outs. Commercial and residential cleaning performed by bonded, insured, WCB-covered, uniform cleaning experts. You deserve a break, and Mommy Maids can help. Let us clean your castle with no hassle. Call 604-533-4959 or visit mummymaids.com.
Hi, it's Bill Macklem. In these busy and hectic times with family and business responsibilities, it is difficult to find the time to sit down with your mortgage broker and discuss all your mortgage options. I'm available to meet with you at your place of work, your home, our office, or at a place convenient for you. Please give me a call at 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663.
CIL 650.
The cleanup woman, 'cause she's tough. I mean, she really cleans up.
Now, Bill, when you found out Monica was going to talk about cleaning leather furniture, you were pretty excited about this.
I'm taping this.
Yeah, I know you are, because I went to your place and you have all this beautiful leather furniture.
And it's old.
Well, I didn't want it's a vintage.
Vintage.
And
it's actually bought from a place that's no longer in existence.
It's
in
really
Yaletown.
where the Ark?
Yeah, well, maybe that's where I got it from.
Well, it probably needs to be clean right about now, because I remember you had some pizza on there. And here's Monica to tell you how to do that. Monica, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Leather furniture such as sofas and cushions are popular household items, but few homeowners know a lot about cleaning leather. If heavy-duty household cleaners are used, the leather could become worn and bobbled. So choose a soap that is much gentler and follow these useful guidelines. Vacuum the furniture to remove dust and particles before cleaning. Using a microfiber cloth, wipe a small amount of a very mild detergent onto the furniture, either a detergent for delicate clothes or Murphy's, which contains oils and waxes that will help maintain the leather shine. With a separate cloth, wipe down with cool, clean water. Do not oversaturate the fabric. Repeat until all soap residue has been removed. Let it dry naturally, closing curtains and blinds if the furniture is in direct sunlight. Remember, always spot test the cleaning product in a small area of the sofa. You don't want to damage your leather furniture by mistake. This is Monica Dinabriga for Radio Real Estate.
Let Mommy Maids clean your castle with no hassle. Call Monica at 604-533-4959. That's 604-533-4959. Or visit mommymaids.com. That's mommymaids.com.
It's 10:29, 29 minutes after 10 o'clock on the Radio Real Estate Show. Bill, you were saying we're not going to do it now, but you wanted to talk about something special this morning.
We're talking about a lot of things. So we're talking about, well, I don't know whether you've noticed that there seems to be a demand for housing in the Lower Mainland.
Really?
And so there's a comment in the editorial this past week about why do you think you should be able to live in Vancouver if you work there? This fellow has said, I grew up in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we couldn't afford to live in L.A. was we moved out to Burbank.
Oh,
and
well.
so, I mean, just because you can't live where you were born doesn't mean that you have to live exactly there. I mean, people have been doing this for years. Matter of fact, they've been doing it for hundreds of years. They move out to the suburbs and raise their children on piece of land and, gardens and all that stuff and close to facilities. So, it's amazing that we think that because we were born in a specific area, we should be able to live in that specific
A little bit different here than in California, because if you're born in Los Angeles and you move out to Burbank, you can start a radio or a television station and become rich.
Not only that, but you can actually see it from there. Anyway.
Oh, that's true, too. Yeah.
Because it's kind of flat.
It's 10:30. Fern, what else is going on?
This is Fern Northcott of Remax Performance with Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages, producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house, Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
Introducing Mommy Maids, a business created out of the lack of employment opportunities for single moms with flexible working hours. From residential to commercial, you can trust their insured and bonded cleaning professionals with any task. Let them clean your castle with no hassle. Go to mummymaids.com or call 604-533-4959.
1, 2, 3, ABC. Mommy Maids come rescue me.
Tom Lucas on the Radio Real Estate Show. Good morning to Mike Farkas, the service manager at North Vancouver Nissan. Mike, good morning. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good, too, and I feel even better now because I hear that Nissan has a very special event coming up.
The Nissan Car Care event, they're offering a free 21-point inspection there, which will check the car from bumper to bumper. They're also offering weekly prices of $50 gas cards and servicing packages. It's just great.
I can make my appointment as usual online, northvancouvernissan.com.
Hi, this is Bill Macklem of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Over the past 25 years, I have found most home purchasers do not use a mortgage broker. We are a no-charge professional who have assisted over 5,000 home buyers finance their home. The exciting part is these same home buyers come back to us for refinancing, buying their next property, or lowering their current payments. Call us at 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663 for more information.
Vancouver weather.
Well, now this is a surprise. It says cloudy with a 20% chance of showers today. However, tomorrow, which will be the very special day, Valentine's Day, it's going to be nice and sunny and warm. Right, Bill?
Yeah, it's going to be, maybe not. Cloudy, rain beginning early in the morning, going to last all day. It's going to be wonderful. And then on Monday, it's going to rain again. And it'll be a high of 11.
Well, all right. Right now it is 8 degrees on the Radio Real Estate Show.
CL 650.
Yeah, I'm moving out.
Ooh.
I don't know where I'm going, but I'm moving out. I can sell the place. Apparently, my real estate agent, Fern, told me I could sell like that.
You can sell for big bucks.
Just
big bucks, right, kids?
Like that.
Like that. Question
like
is, like what?
Like that.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can sell it pretty darn easy, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Just where you're going to move.
But where do we move?
That was my next
Where
question. Where do we move? Well, we'll discuss that before the show is over. Right now, let's talk about what's going on in the Lower Mainland. We'll see if our friend Andy Mattu concurs with us. He's on the line. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. How are you doing today?
I'm good today. You're looking good today, and I understand today is like no other day in the real estate business. You're still busy.
It's busy, busy, busy. Yes, everything is selling for over list price, and Tom, some things are even going $200,000-$300,000 over asking.
Now, this is the time of year, I think, to beat the spring rush. If you're wondering about how much a house is worth, get in touch with your local real estate agent. You'll take good care of them, right?
That's right.
You also have some very special listings for us today.
I have a fourplex coming up for sale next week. It's 4 units. It's on a just over 10,000 square foot lot. There's awesome rental income coming in. List prices to be determined. We have to wait for that one. But also I have a commercial building coming up in Abbotsford. If anybody is out there looking for, running their own business, there's a grocery store on Gladwin Street. There's residential upstairs as well, so you got a lot of rental income there as well. Great for investment. This is Andy Mattu for Radio Real Estate.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm lost here.
Oh, for goodness sake.
So we're going to put Andy and Remax Crest Realty Westside to work. So call them at 604-781-6000. That's 604-781-6000.
Okay, a little song for Mr. Bill Macklin. I look forward to this part of the program every Saturday. A special song for Bill. Here we go.
Don't mess with Bill.
How timely.
Don't mess with Bill. Don't mess with Bill. Say it one more
said say it one more time, and they did. Don't
Yeah.
mess with Bill. Something's on your mind this morning. I can tell you how your nose is glowing.
Well, I tell you,
It's too early for that other thing. So,
there's a whole bunch of things.
first of all, assisted living you're just alluding
Well,
to.
I believe in assisted living.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that we have to, that's why we live in a democracy. We help those that are less fortunate and help them out. I believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't understand is that how come I'm paying my taxes to help those that are less fortunate than I am, and they're living like a block off the ocean, and I'm still living in a condo in either Abbotsford or Langley, and if I want to see the water, I got to drive an hour to get to it. So there's a certain kind of like a, what would you call it, entitlement.
Entitlement is the word, yeah.
If I have to have the social assistance, it still means that I can live just the same as everybody else can. Well, I believe in a certain amount of equality,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what? The land in Vancouver proper is expensive, and so maybe you have to look at different areas to help those less fortunate than ourselves. Make sure they're close to services. Make sure they're close to proper employment opportunities as well as transportation. But let's be a little more realistic about where we choose to build these assisted living homes.
Mm.
Balance it a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to seem like I'm heartless, because I'm not. I just did.
No, you're not. But this is called reality. Reality.
Exactly. You look at the Lower Mainland. Yes, it's expensive to live here. So where do you put people that need some assistance? You don't put them in downtown Vancouver. You put them in some other area that they still provide the same services that they're looking for. I mean, we all look for different opportunities, and I mean, we had to move out to the suburbs when we were younger because we couldn't afford to live in the city.
How about Lethbridge?
Exactly.
I don't want to live.
It's kind of hard to commute from
Oh,
here.
I see.
It's a long commute. My one son lives out in Mission. I mean, and he works in the area, and his wife works at the hospital. My other son, he's up in Powell River, and so he's working there. The other son is the Lower Mainland. So like the kids are all over the place, and they'll move where they can to where they can afford.
And that I remember that of my generation too. I mean, you went where the work was. In the 50s or in the 60s and the 70s, there wasn't a lot of work in Vancouver. So what you did is you went where the work was. I mean, we didn't start complaining that I couldn't live downtown Vancouver because I'm working there. I couldn't get a job downtown Vancouver. So that's what you do.
I think there's an underlying feature here that maybe most of us are missing. So the problem with the concept of having to live in downtown Vancouver may be a little bit more hidden than what we would like to admit. If you live in a truly metro city, which means like a place like Calgary, whether you live in the foothills, you living outside, you're still living in one city. If you're living in Morinville outside of Edmonton, you're still living in one city. Those services are provided by Edmonton Services. When you live in Vancouver, if you live in Surrey or Maple Ridge or Burnaby or Mission, each one of them has their own services. So if I was the mayor of Vancouver proper, and I see my talent pool leaving, who are also my taxpayers, who are also the people that make the payments on the mill rate, and they're leaving going to another municipality, I'd be a little upset about that because I'm losing my people. If it was one city covering the whole Lower Mainland, then where they lived has no bearing on my income stream as a municipal planner. It just means that I got to plan better in terms of transportation and housing for those people. It changes everything. But if I only talk about my city because I don't want to lose my base, are you being as honest as you should be?
What if I'm the mayor of Surrey and you're the mayor of Vancouver and you say this? Do I just not believe that you want my job?
How about getting one mayor? I mean, there's 32 in the Lower Mainland at 100,000 each.
One mayor?
Yeah. So in Calgary, which they're only a small city. They're only 1.25 million. They only have one board of education.
But they're cowboys.
Yeah, but they only have one education. So you only have to have one school board. You
Really?
don't have to have 35 of them.
Is that why they can't speak English?
No, that's just Western.
What, the Cowboys?
Yeah. Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't want to make any enemies here. No. So it's interesting, the housing market, eh?
So the housing market is unique. Sorry, Fern, I'm just going to go here for a little bit.
No, that's okay. I want to hear what you say. I always like to hear what you say, Bill.
Thanks, kiddo.
You're about the only one.
Just kidding. So what's happening right now is that people are looking at buying a home, and they don't have there's no wiggle room. Like there's no, let's sit down for coffee, Tom or Fern, and let's kind of look at where you want to live, and let's go look at a couple of houses, and then, you think about that, and then next week we'll go look at a few more, and then, no. You have to be armed and ready to pull the pin now.
The way you just mentioned, wasn't that the way that Mom and Dad used to do it?
Absolutely.
I see, yeah. Sounded
Exactly.
kind of familiar.
But we don't have a supply of housing. We don't have a long supply. All the listings, what are they, Fern? They're less than 30 days on most listings?
Yeah, most of them, if they are priced, well, whatever correctly is called, most homes, if you put them on the market now, if they're about in Surrey, Delta, Langley, if they are under 700,000, you have an offer on it within 4 days or something's wrong with it.
Yeah, like it's gone. So what we're finding now is that when I sit down with clients and we're looking at this kind of scenario, I'm trying to get them approved. For example, let's just say that you're fortunate enough that you have a free and clear house, or most of the debt on your current home is gone. So we'll look at maybe putting the mortgage on your current home, so you have financing in place already, and then all you got to do is do your due diligence on the one you're going to buy. Well, it might mean an inspection. It might. You might pre-order an appraisal on the property before you make your offer, so you actually have that in hand, and so that when you go in to make your offer, you can almost make a non-subject to offer. So you want to make sure that you're safe.
So is it a good idea then to still get home inspections?
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot of people go in without a home inspection, and if I'm working with buyers and they tell me that Uncle Joe or whatever is a builder or contractor, and they'll go in and they don't want to put subject to an inspection, I have them sign a waiver. Lets everybody off the hook. I'm not going to take responsibility for people not getting a building inspection.
And in today's market, is it still necessary to get an appraisal?
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yeah, all lenders need to see an appraisal, and it's becoming so so compliant that, so I've been grandfathered for years in ordering our own appraisals through a very honest company. We've been dealing with them since '94, and it's down to the point now that we actually have to go to the lender and use the appraiser that they want us to use to get the appraisal done, so that we don't have any coercion or dishonesty in terms of getting the value of the home.
Now, earlier in our conversation, Fern, you had something on your mind. Bill was chatting away, so we let him go for a while, but you wanted to interject with something. You had a thought.
Okay, we were, this whole program today in real estate, of course, we're talking about the hot topic, which is the shadow flipping. And it's real interesting because a few things that I have picked up here when, I spent a lot of time last night just going over all the articles that have been on Global, et cetera, et cetera. The superintendent of real estate for British Columbia, she announced that she did not know about this shadow flipping until she saw it on the press. Well, I kind of find that hard to believe because, I'm the realtor and I see it going on. I've seen it going on for years. And I was in a situation a couple of years ago when I showed up at the lawyer's office holding the hand of a rather elderly client. And when the documents went by us and we're reading them, I'm saying to the lawyer, hey, wait a minute. This isn't the buyer. What's going on here? The paper's mixed up. And I was told by the buyer, oh, Fern, this goes on all the time. How a lot of the times that by the time it gets to the lawyer's office, it isn't the real buyer that originally wrote the contract. And on this contract, there was no, let's say, John Doe or assignee, absolutely nothing. It was to be in this person's name. And when we got to the lawyer's office, it was somebody else's name. So I don't know how many times that it had been sold along the way before it got from John Doe's name or from my seller's name into supposed to be John Doe's name, and it went into so-and-so's name. How many times has it been sold? And my client's sitting there, and on his statement of adjustments, what he sees, of course, is the original price on the offer. So I just find it very difficult to believe the superintendent of real estate did not know that this was going on. That to me, what that shows is are we hands-on or not hands-on?
Well, the article.
Anyway, I could keep ranting about it.
Well, go right ahead. No, it says people in the article in the paper says people break the rules all the time. They said it's hard to protect yourself.
Well, it is. It is hard to protect yourself, and if you're dealing with an ethical realtor, then this situation kind of caught me by surprise because I'm sitting there and I'm going, wait a minute, this isn't right. But it has, to me, it has something to do with being ethical or not. Okay, it's tax evasion, it's avoiding capital gains, all of that kind of stuff. But, whatever happened to, I have a house to sell, I'm selling it to you, I am asking $500,000, you give me $500,000, I get $500,000 at the lawyer's, but in the back door, that you've already sold it to somebody else for $600,000. First of all, I don't see that cash. Second of all, I don't even know about it. And so, what is really, really going on here? And there was another fellow on television that said that this always happens in a hot market, but he also said that it is, what was the exact quote? To me, it just sounds like passing the buck and political move that, I'm just looking through my notes here. Sorry. What it basically said was that it has been going on for a long time, and get over it. I remember. I'm sorry. What it said was it protects both the buyer and the seller. And I'm saying, wait a minute here. How does it protect the seller, because he's getting the same money anyway?
Mhm.
And then the flip of the coin was it protects the buyer, because if that buyer during that period of time before completion either gets a divorce, loses their job, whatever, then he can assign it on to another person. Well, what is the percentage of people that go out pre-qualified with you, Bill? They take this little qualification, they go out and they make an offer on a piece of property, let's say within 2 weeks of getting this qualification. They make an offer on a piece of property, and within 30 days before completion, they lose their job or get a divorce. What's the percentage of the public that actually happens? So how is that protecting the buyer and the seller? I don't get it. I'd like somebody to explain all of that to me, because all I see is the shadow flipping that's going on, and who's profiting from this? All the buyers along the line. The government's not profiting because of tax. We're not profiting for our seller because the seller didn't know what was going on, and he receives what I guess what I get back to, obviously, let's say 500,000 again. If he receives his 500,000 through shadow flipping, it sold for 600,000. Obviously, 600,000 is market value, and the seller's been screwed.
Now, Fern, just in case anybody just tuned in and got on the bus here, maybe you could explain the difference between shadow flipping and just flipping a home, fixing it up, and selling it. There is a big difference.
I certainly can. And fixing a home, what we would always say, when in a little bit more stable market, because right now, does a person have time to buy a home, fix it up, and flip it? Not as a rule. But when you are flipping a home that way, what happens is you go out and you buy the worst home on the block, you purchase it, you send your crew in, you fix it up, you put it on the market, and then you receive the a profit after, renovating it, etc. So that's called flipping. And that's what we're used to. But shadow flipping is when a buyer buys Joe Blogg's property, then takes the contract, assigns it to another buyer, pockets the profit. That buyer assigns it to another buyer, pockets the profit. And then the last buyer shows up in his lawyer's office and signs all the documents, and it goes into that person's name. And the seller, not knowing that there can be 2 or 3 or 4 buyers after the original buyer, but before the person that goes and signs documents in the lawyer's office. And to me, it's just totally that is out of control. And I'm being told that, that's normal in a hot market, so get over it. Well, I don't know. What's right?
Get rid of the rule. Make it so that you cannot assign a property to somebody else, and it's a legal decision.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if you remember, Bill, but years ago when we used to write up properties, and we were, you're right, this assignment thing was brought in to be able to put people offshore on a title. Now, I can understand that, but how we used to have to write it up was, let's say, John Doe and or nominee. Okay, so that was basically an assignment, but it meant that you could add anybody onto title that you wanted. It didn't mean you could assign it, but it meant that you could add people onto your title. But then they did away with that rule, and then we were allowed to assign, but you had to write up John Doe or assignee. And of course, any of us have been involved in new condos anywhere for the last 10 years. We did a lot of this, but somehow along the way, the words or assignee has been dropped, and it's just been paper transfer.
So assignments, you're right. But the first time I heard the expression assignments referred to condos that weren't even built yet, and people were buying them. I'd buy mine, I'd sell it to Fern, she'd take it, she'd buy it, and she'd sell it to Bill, and then you'd sell it to Dwayne, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We all make a profit.
And we all make a profit.
Yeah.
Except Dwayne.
Yeah.
Except for Dwayne.
Not me.
Oh, poor Dwayne.
But, that only works in an increasing market. You've also seen the reverse, and this happened in 2008. There were a lot of assignee condos all over the Lower Mainland, and the assignee who bought it but assigned it to somebody else, and then they were supposed to complete on it. Then the market kind of took a little bit of a crash in 2008, 2009, and they were stuck holding the bag. So I kind of look at the weakness of that system of who's going to profit out of this thing. And you're right, Bill. It's about time we changed some rules. And why didn't this happen 5 years ago?
Let's just suppose that I'm a rookie purchaser, which of course I am, and I go to somebody like Bill Macklem, and I go to somebody like Fern Northcott, and I say, I'd like to buy something, but I just don't want to get caught up in the schmozzle that's going down. Is there any way I can protect myself, Fern?
You know what? There's so much with this shadow thing, shadow flipping.
Yeah.
How do you protect yourself? Because I myself, as a realtor, I of course am trying to protect myself all the time. I retain a good lawyer that anything that comes up, that I give him a call and just say, look, I need a little bit of help here, even if it comes to explaining something to me. But this shadow flipping, when it happened to me a couple of years ago, it totally took me by surprise. Totally. It's, I guess, maybe, I don't know. It took me by surprise. So I don't know how it's the buyers that profit from it, not the sellers that I see. That's what I see.
Is there any point in sitting down with your realtor and talking this over before you sign on the dotted line? Does it make any sense? Is it even worth time?
No.
No?
No. Yeah, because the system is set up to do assignments.
Yes, this is true. But the only thing is that when the press takes this and it's the flavor of the week on the television and in the papers, etc., a lot of people do not understand the concepts of what really goes on in real estate. And to me, if you've got concern about what shadow flipping is, or if you hear any kind of buzzword flavor of the week, talk to your realtor about it, talk to your lawyer about it, talk to your mortgage broker about it, because then it's out on the table. It may not happen to you, and it probably will not. But the chances are, if it does, I don't like my clients to be taken by surprise.
In our next segment, we're going to hear from our Radio Real Estate home handyman, Finn Jensen. Finn says it's time to look at those old Vancouver homes.
Good morning. It's Tom Lucas with our co-host Fern Northcott of Rebacks Performance Realty, Bill Macklem, who is president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Our producer is Dwayne Bishop, and you're listening to Radio Real Estate on CIL 650.
Tom Lucas on the Radio Real Estate Show. Good morning to Mike Farkas, the service manager at North Vancouver Nissan. Mike, good morning. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good, too, and I feel even better now because I hear that Nissan has a very special event coming up.
The Nissan Car Care event, they're offering a free 21-point inspection there, which will check the car from bumper to bumper. They're also offering weekly prices of $50 gas cards and servicing packages. It's just great.
And I can make my appointment as usual online, northvancouvernissan.com.
Hi, this is Fern Northcott from Remax Performance. Your real estate dreams begin with you. Real estate is the greatest investment you will ever make. Approach it as an adventure, financially and emotionally without mistakes. I have a plan for making your real estate investments work for you. Call or text me, Fern Northcott, at 604-790-9066, 604-790-9066, or visit fnorthcott.com.
CIL 650. I'm fixing a hole where the rain gets in and stops my mind from wandering. I'm filling the cracks that ran through the door and kept my mind from wandering.
Fern, hang on. No, I have to go in there just a minute. No, I'm sorry. Finn, you'll have to play the contest like anybody else. And that goes for your wife, too. No, it's Finn. He was on the phone. He's trying to get some James Taylor tickets.
I know.
You can't. No.
Is this supposed to be Monday morning?
Monday morning's the first day. All week long we're giving away tickets. Yes, and Fern wants to go to the concert. It's on June the 11th. Fern, you and I are going.
Works for me.
You're paying, but we're going.
I'm glad you're taking me as the date instead of Bill. Like I said, I'm getting a little tired of that.
No. It's not working. 10:55 is the time you can win tickets to James Taylor Monday morning right here on CL 650 on the CL 650 Morning Show with Tom Lucas. It's time now to find out what's going on in the world, and I think that Finn Jensen wants to talk about some of those Vancouver specials. Finn, good morning.
Good morning, Tom, and good morning, everyone. The imminent disappearance of the old housing stock
is a cause of much consternation in Vancouver. The people who rail against the demolitions must feel the loss most severely, likely because they grew up in areas where these old charmers stood. Others simply feel the sadness in their heart when pictures appear with addresses and stories regarding another 100-year-old mansion's demise. For many, it's coming too fast, and for too many, that should be allowed to stand. The chief source of regret could be attributed to the love Vancouverites feel for those old homes that are to die for. There were dream homes even back then, built by affluent citizens engaged in business and professions, some of whom became community leaders as commemorated by parks and areas named after them, all of which were the pride and envy of the rest of the early population. Their homes were and are still an inspiration to all that with hard work and skill, great things are possible. And as with anything beautiful, it charges people with a desire to excel and succeed. The old areas were places of success and rich history that helped Vancouver go on to become one of the great cities in the world. Much is owed to the families of old, and their homes are a reminder of what can be achieved by people who can dream of great things. This is Finn Jensen for Radio Real Estate. Talk to you next week.
Let Finn take care of all your plumbing and heating needs. For fast, reliable, for fast, reliable, and dependable service, call Finn at Gentech Mechanical Installations, 778-378-2740. That's 778-378-2740.
And next week, we're going to be teaching Bill where the cough switch is.
Yes, thank you very much.
Just the cough
And a
drops.
frog in my throat.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. We understand.
Spit it out.
It's because it's chilly outside.
It is. Damn.
I think we should all be very, very thankful that we're not living back east where it's mighty cold.
Oh, did you see what happened in the Maritimes?
Holy jumping Jehoshaphat.
What happened in the Maritimes, Bill?
Snow, sleet, and freezing rain.
Heck.
Yeah, they got some places they got as many as 2 feet of snow.
Nice.
Ugh.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We do live in the banana belt. They call it a rainforest, and you know what? I'm okay with that.
Now, you know what? I know what else you're okay with. You sold a house recently. You had something to do with a little house that sold up, I think it was West 14th and West Point Grey, just down the street from where I used to live as a kid.
Well, you know, wasn't that interesting? Because that came across my desk as well. And, I mean, these are the kind of homes that people are buying and bulldozing down. And because it was your old neighborhood, Tom, I thought that you would be interested. If you and your parents hung on to that home, wonder where you'd be today.
I wouldn't be here talking to you people, no offense. No offense. I'd be with you, Fern.
Oh, that's too funny.
Oh, my God.
No, I hear you. That was a house that, you know, that's the kind of thing that they show around the world of the Vancouver housing market. A little house that was a teardown, unfortunately. And I forget, what was the price that it was on it, Tom? I can't remember right now.
2.2.
I just sort of thought, wow, and then just sent it off to you because you would recognize the hood.
Well, I know that my parents bought a place in West 15th in the early 60s for about $12,000. Wondering how the hell they're going to make the payments on that. Poor mom and dad were pulling their hair out. That's why I grew up with bald parents. But needless to say, they did. And my God, when I inherited the place, it was worth more than $12,000.
Probably 24,000.
A little more than that, too.
Really?
Yeah.
But here again, we get into the same old, just like Fern said, we're getting into the same old Vancouver pricing. No. We're talking about Vancouver City, or we're talking about Vancouver the Valley.
And I may sell the house for, let's say, $2.2 million, but if I want to buy something of equal value or better, I'm going to have to spend more dough, right?
And you're going to move to the Valley. You have to move Mission or Chilliwack.
Is that true, Fern? Okay. So maybe she's making arrangements now for you to move to the Valley.
I think she's making a phone call. I think she's trying to get into the Taylor countdown for the
You think so?
tickets.
She's trying to win some tickets for James Taylor?
Yeah.
She has to wait till Monday.
I don't know. I think she's taping the phone call, so it'll get automatically dialed in.
I have an idea. Why don't we get out of here early today so you and I can start calling the radio station? You want to do that?
Exactly.
Okay, let's get it. Let's do that. Okay, now Bill, write this down. 604 280 0650.
Oh, that's the station.
That's right. That's the contest line. 604 280 0650. Okay, what's the number?
604-280-0650.
Okay, so now you listen on Monday about 20 after 9 in the morning.
I have to wait that long.
Yep. And we're going to play Is It Taylor or Is It Taylor? You have to tell us if it's James Taylor or Taylor Swift.
And we only want James Taylor.
That's right. So again, what's the telephone number?
604-280-0650.
That's right. James Taylor tickets going on the line Monday morning on the morning show right here in CL 650. It's 10:59 is the time. People want to get a hold of you, Bill, for some money to buy a brand new home. How do they do that?
Please give me a call. 604-684-4663. 604-684-4663. I'm available 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
You can text me on the 7th day, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. And I was just talking to some people here in the station, and they said I don't say it enough times.
Say what?
That I make house calls.
Do you make house calls?
Pretty much all the time.
You make house calls?
I make house calls.
When you're not trying to win some James Taylor tickets?
Well, I'm not trying. Well, you know what? I could be making that call as I'm driving with my hands free.
From James Taylor's house?
Yes.
Okay. It's 11 o'clock. Fern North will be back with us next week. Bill Macklin will be here too. So will Dwayne. So will I. And don't forget James Taylor and I will be in your face Monday morning at about 9:20 right here on CL 650. Have a great weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you. Bye.